Hey friends, I have a question for you. Have you been stuck in traffic and you were just really upset? You got frustrated, and I just felt that I make this video because I just came through traffic. It took me an hour instead of 15 minutes, and I was actually quite amused by the fact that a lot of people around me, they were frustrated, and they were just it's as if they have any control over the traffic. And I by the way, I'm not immune to that. I used to be very upset about that, and especially coming from a smaller city to bigger city. But at the end of the day, why are you upset about something that you cannot change? Remember the Serenity Prayer? Well, here is the part. I just don't understand why we do those things, but it's a human behavior, it's a human psychology that we expect things and it has to happen instantly, instead of accepting the fact that if I am leaving my place at 8 o'clock, the chances are, a good chance, I'm gonna face traffic more than usual. And on top of that, there are lots of things that I'm not in control at all. So today, for example, there was an accident. So there is just no way for me to know in advance, even with the Google map or whatever map that you want to check in and see, oh, okay, everything's good and all that stuff. But still, you have no control over those things. So why are you wasting your breath, your energy, and then you're flooding your body with all the negative things, which is basically cascading through the body, and the stress level goes up, and basically we are poisoning ourselves within ourselves, and I don't believe that's necessary. I know that's something that is gonna influence my health and your health when you do this. So always question that. Whenever you're getting upset, whenever something is not going your way, just take a moment, take a couple of breaths, just very easy, deep breath and slow exhale through the nostrils, and then find out why. Okay?
So about a few hours after my first part of this video, so let me update you on that. So I took my elderly mom, to the doctor, the eye doctor, and 4 hours we had to wait. And it was one of those days that I got tested, right? First is traffic, which I stayed reasonably calm, and it was quite fascinating how other people reacted. And then by the time we got to the doctor, he was late, and when I asked the receptionist, I said, well, why late? After about 2 hours time, I said, why? I just want to, just be aware. Why is it that, because we can assume many things, right? When we get pissed off for no reason. And it turns out that he's the only emergency doctor for the nearest hospital to that, to his office. So a lot of the wait or pushed back in terms of scheduling was done because of these emergency cases would show up. And this poor guy started at 8 a.m., this doctor, 8 a.m., and by the time he saw us, remember our appointment was 9, it was at 1:40. He saw us, and by the time everything was said and done, we were out of there by around 2:20, around there. But as I was sitting there, and there were a lot of other people that were, reasonably unhappy, and sure enough, and they've got all the rights, but as I was sitting there and I was chatting with my mom, the only thing that we could have done, we had two choices. One was to leave, the other one was to accept something that we cannot change. So I asked my mom, I said, what do you want to do? I mean, let's not get upset about it anymore, because it's out of our hand. It's out of even in his hands. So let's just wait. What do you think? And she said, okay, sure. And my mom is cool enough to just relax. And in fact, she gave her spot to another emergency, because that was actually, they asked us they asked her and said, would you please, if you don't mind? And my mom said, absolutely, no worries. We're not in a rush, but that emergency person had to come in, get checked out, and then get to the hospital right away. So a lesson in patience, a lesson in understanding and not assuming, a lesson in compassion, whatever you want to call that. I think every day we get tested like that, and as long as we stay true to our virtues, I think we'll be okay. But the moment we betray our own virtues in whatever form, through anger and unchecked emotions, and we devalue our own virtues, that's the time that we actually lost innately. And I think that the strongest and the most difficult and most meaningful task is the task of self-awareness, making sure that our emotions are checked and channeled in the right way. And remember this, the Serenity Prayer, that God give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I hope you're well. Until next time.